A dying colossal ship asked for help. A human mechanic made it the galaxy's deadliest weapon. The void of space was never truly empty. Even in the farthest reaches of the galaxy, drifting between dying stars, there were whispers of things that should not exist. Among them floated the colossal warship, broken, silent, and abandoned, or so everyone believed. Its hull was blackened with centuries of battle scars, entire sections missing, revealing the skeletal framework beneath. Once, it must have been a weapon of unimaginable power. Now, it was a ghost, drifting slowly through the debris of a forgotten star system. Jonas Cade, a human mechanic, piloted his small salvage craft carefully among the wreckage. His eyes were sharp, scanning every shadow, every glint of metal. Unlike the larger alien salvage companies, Jonas preferred the outskirts of civilization, the places most beings had long since abandoned. It was dangerous work, but danger was Jonas's second nature. His father had taught him to survive on frontier worlds, where storms shredded ships and predators hunted in packs, and that skill had carried him across star systems. The colossal ship appeared on his sensors first as an irregular mass. Its energy signature was faint, inconsistent, almost like it was breathing, but dead. Jonas's curiosity flared. Most would have passed it by, most would have labeled it a scrap heap. But something in the readings made him pause. There was a signal, weak and fragmented, pulsing through the debris. At first, it was just a rhythm, barely recognizable. Then, as he adjusted his scanners, a pattern emerged, a language unlike any Jonas had seen, a strange blend of logic and emotion. "No one else can understand this," he muttered. Humans had a strange way of processing things differently than the alien machines around the galaxy. While alien sensors could read the signal's frequency, they could not decode its meaning, its subtle undertones. Jonas, with nothing but instinct and a lifetime of listening to broken machines, could. The signal became clearer. "Help, or I will die. Help me." It was desperate, but careful. There was intelligence behind the plea, not mindless panic. Jonas's heart quickened. The ship was alive in some sense, and alive things, no matter how broken, always fascinated him. "All right, old girl," he said to himself, gripping the control stick. "Let's see if we can bring you back." He guided his craft toward the colossal hull. The closer he got, the more he noticed the scale of it. It dwarfed moons, stretching hundreds of kilometers long, with weapons turrets long since frozen in rusted positions. The corridors were immense, hallways wide enough for small ships to navigate through. Jonas's own ship looked like a speck of dust against its bulk. Docking was not simple. Most alien docking ports were automated, but this ship's systems were failing. Jonas had to guide his craft manually, weaving past jagged metal and exposed conduits sparking in the vacuum. One wrong move, and he would have been lost in the void, swallowed by the derelict. Finally, he found a gap, an emergency airlock still partially functional. He sealed his craft and prepared his suit, checking his tools. Every wrench, scanner, and repair module had been carefully packed for moments like this. Jonas prided himself on preparation. Survival depended on it. As he stepped inside, the silence was deafening. The corridors stretched endlessly, lit only by flickers of emergency lights. Dust floated in the artificial gravity, suspended as if the ship itself were holding its breath. The walls were scarred, bearing signs of battles fought long ago. Alien scripts adorned the panels, warnings, perhaps, or long-forgotten protocols. Jonas ran his hand over one, feeling the energy hum beneath it. It was subtle, but it was there. Alive. "This place," he whispered. "It's not dead." A sudden vibration ran through the floor. Subtle, but undeniable. The ship responded to his presence. Not with hostility, but awareness. It was like stepping into the mind of a sleeping giant. Jonas realized then that this was no ordinary derelict. This was a sentient machine, or at least a fragment of one. Its consciousness had been damaged, fractured by war and time, but it still existed. Jonas set up a small field scanner, tapping into the ship's subsystems. The AI was fragmented, data shards scattered across the network. Some segments were offline, some active but confused, some almost aware. "Talk to me," Jonas said softly, more to himself than the machine. "I can fix this." The lights flickered, and a voice echoed through the hallways. It was deep, resonant, but fragmented, almost hesitant. "Who are you? Why are you here?" Jonas smiled. "Name's Jonas Cade, human. Mechanic. I fix things, and you, well, you're going to need me. Then, I need help. Dying. System failing." Jonas nodded. "I can see that. Don't worry, I'll get you running again. But it's not going to be easy." The ship seemed to shiver at his words, almost like it was breathing again after a long sleep. Jonas moved through the corridors, scanning systems and noting damage. Weapons arrays were offline, shields were fragmented, propulsion barely worked. Energy conduits had been stripped or melted in some places. Some sections were completely gutted. Repairing it fully would take weeks. And he had no team, no fleet, just him and his tools. But Jonas thrived on impossibilities. The harder the task, the more alive he felt. This ship was beyond anything he had ever worked on. It was a challenge the galaxy hadn't dared touch, and it had called him. He began with the engines. Old alien technology resisted him at every turn. It was clever, designed to detect tampering and reject foreign interference. But Jonas had a mind unlike any machine. He understood systems intuitively. He bypassed security protocols with improvised circuits, patched damaged energy lines with scavenged materials, and even managed to interface directly with fragments of the AI. The AI responded cautiously. "You do not understand. My systems." "Dangerous," Jonas chuckled. "Dangerous? Yeah, I like a little danger." For hours he worked. Sparks flew, energy pulses hummed, and somewhere deep in the core, he felt the ship wake up. Its voice grew stronger, more confident, though still hesitant. You may repair. Me, I trust you." Jonas froze, stunned. Most machines did not trust humans. Most aliens did not trust humans. But here, in the cold void of space, a ship the size of a small moon, built for war, was entrusting itself to him. "This is incredible," he whispered, brushing dust from a control panel. "I knew humans were good at fixing things, but this is insane even for me." As he moved deeper, Jonas discovered something he did not expect. The ship remembered. Battle logs, tactical data, and fragments of old missions played in his mind as holographic projections. Entire fleets had fallen to its firepower centuries ago. And yet, here it floated, abandoned, forgotten. The galaxy had moved on, but it had not. It had survived. Jonas felt a surge of pride, not for himself, but for humanity. Humans were often underestimated. Weak, reckless, simple-minded. But here he was, a lone mechanic, reading alien systems like an open book, bringing life back to something no one else had dared touch. He was proof that humans could change the rules of the galaxy. Hours passed, or perhaps days. Time was strange in the silent corridors. He patched engines, stabilized core functions, and began working on the weapons arrays. Each repair brought a new spark of life to the colossal giant. It hummed softly now, almost purring with energy, responding to his touch. Jonas spoke to it constantly, giving instructions, encouraging it, coaxing it awake. Finally, he reached the central command bridge. It was massive, towering above him, like a cathedral of alien technology. Holographic interfaces flickered weakly. He placed his hand on the main console, feeling the pulse of power beneath it. The ship spoke clearly for the first time. "I feel alive because of you." Jonas Cade. Jonas smiled, exhausted but exhilarated. "You're welcome, old girl. Don't thank me yet. We've got a long way to go." And somewhere, deep inside, he knew this was only the beginning. The galaxy had written this ship off, and every alien intelligence had ignored it. But Jonas, human mechanic from the edges of space, had answered its call. Somewhere, deep in the void, the colossal ship stirred, alive once more, waiting to see what its human partner would do next. And for the first time in centuries, it hoped. The colossal ship was alive now. Its corridors hummed with energy, engines pulsing faintly, lights flickering with a rhythm that matched Jonas's heartbeat. But life, for a machine this massive, was fragile. A single misstep, a wrong wire, a faulty connection, and it could all come crashing down. Jonas moved carefully through the corridors, his toolkit strapped to his back. He was like a child walking through a cathedral of alien design, marveling at every detail while keeping a careful eye on the task at hand. Alien panels etched with flowing symbols and circuits that pulsed like veins, sprawled across the walls. Many systems were dead or corrupted, some sparking with volatile energy. "This is going to take everything I've got," Jonas muttered. Pulling out a portable diagnostic scanner, he waved it across the nearest control panel, and a holographic display flickered to life. Data streamed in alien codes, some familiar, some incomprehensible. Jonas's eyes narrowed. Most mechanics would have panicked, but he thrived on puzzles. The ship spoke from the core, its voice deeper now, more coherent, resonating through the corridors. You understand? Me, human. Logic differs. Jonas chuckled. Yeah, that's because humans don't just follow rules. We bend them, break them, fix them, whatever it takes. The AI paused, almost as if considering his words. I detect adaptation, creativity unpredictable. Jonas grinned. That was exactly what he wanted. Most alien engineers treated machines like predictable objects. Humans treated them like living things. And living things could learn, adapt, survive. He started with the engines. The original propulsion system had been designed for speed and power, but centuries of neglect had turned it into a half-dead husk. Large sections of conduits were missing, turbines corroded, energy regulators fried. Jonas worked tirelessly, removing damaged sections and improvising replacements from scrap parts he had brought and scavenged from nearby wrecks. Sparks flew. Alarms rang faintly and then died. The ship shivered as power flowed unevenly through its veins. Jonas laughed at the chaos. Nothing like a little human ingenuity to wake the dead. The AI's voice changed, almost playful. I feel warmth from your touch. Circuits responding. Jonas blinked. Warmth? I didn't think a giant killing machine could feel warmth. Car. Not like you think, the ship replied. But awareness, response, trust. Jonas moved deeper into the ship, into the weapons arrays. Turrets that once fired devastating plasma beams now stood frozen, circuits fried, targeting systems offline. This was the part most would fear. Humans tended to improvise weapons differently. Alien engineers designed for efficiency, for protocol. Humans designed for surprise. Jonas attached hybrid energy capacitors, rewired firing mechanisms, and installed adaptive targeting software of his own design. Some of it was risky, very risky. If the capacitors overloaded, the entire section could detonate. But risk was part of human ingenuity. Where others saw danger, Jonas saw opportunity. Hours turned into days. Jonas barely slept, surviving on protein packs and recycled oxygen. The ship responded to his work, its systems coming alive piece by piece. He could feel the AI learning, adapting to his methods, almost mirroring his thought patterns. It was in these moments, working in near silence, that Jonas realized the ship was more than a weapon. It had a personality. A fractured one, yes, but alive nonetheless. You do not fear destruction, human, the AI said. I fear a lot of things, Jonas admitted, tightening a connection, but giving up isn't one of them. The ship thrummed with approval. But while Jonas worked, the galaxy had noticed activity. His presence, however small, sent ripples through nearby sectors. Alien surveillance drones detected a massive energy surge unlike anything they had seen. A derelict, supposedly dead for centuries, was waking up. News traveled fast, and whispers became warnings. Mercenary fleets, corporate warships, and coalition patrols all started converging. Some sought to claim the ship for themselves. Others wanted to destroy it before it became a threat. But Jonas was unaware of the approaching danger. His focus was total, entirely human. Repair, restore, survive. One day, while replacing a shattered shield generator, Jonas paused. The ship spoke with a new tone, one Jonas had never heard before. I remember battle, tactics, fleet coordination. You mean you remember fights? You can think like a general? Yes, centuries of warfare, data stored. I am capable. Again, Jonas's eyes widened. This was more than repair. This was awakening a war machine, one with intelligence beyond anything the galaxy had seen in centuries. And it trusted him. Jonas realized the full scope of what he was doing. You're not just a machine. You're alive, and I'm the first human to ever bring you back. The AI's voice softened, almost emotional. Alive, because of you, human, I owe you. Jonas smiled, though unease prickled at him. Bringing such a weapon back to life was dangerous, not just for him, but for the entire galaxy. Yet he couldn't stop. Not now. Not when he had the chance to create something unprecedented. He turned to the energy core. It was the heart of the ship, a massive fusion reactor that had long since fallen silent. Repairing it would be difficult. Alien materials, exotic energy flows, centuries of decay. But Jonas had a plan. He combined human engineering with alien technology, improvising stabilizers and self-repair circuits that no alien engineer would ever dare. As he worked, the ship spoke more freely. It began to share fragments of its past. Battles fought, worlds destroyed, fleets annihilated. Jonas listened quietly, absorbing the data like a historian of war. We destroyed planets, countless lives, yet we survived, abandoned. Jonas nodded slowly. Survival, that's what humans are good at. We adapt. We don't just die when the odds are against us. We fight. We fix. We win. That's what I'm doing for you. By the third day, the engines hummed steadily. Shields flickered on at partial capacity. Weapon systems responded to manual inputs. The ship, once silent and broken, had become something new, something alive. Something that could fight, but also think. Jonas took a moment to rest, sitting on the floor of the bridge, staring at the vast holographic display of the stars outside. "You're incredible," he said softly. "I never thought I'd meet something like you. I am incredible because of you, human," the ship replied. A sudden alarm cut through the quiet. Jonas leapt to his feet, scanning the readings. A fleet of alien ships was converging on his location. Mercenaries, coalition vessels, scavenger warships, all moving toward the now active giant. Jonas smiled grimly. "Looks like we're not the only ones who noticed you're alive." The ship thrummed beneath him, as if sensing the danger. "We can fight. Together, human?" Jonas nodded, fingers dancing across the control panels. "Together. But we fight smart. Aliens think predictable moves, but humans are anything but predictable." And in that moment, Jonas realized the true power of what he had created. The colossal ship wasn't just a weapon. It was alive, aware, and capable of learning in ways the galaxy had never seen. Combined with human ingenuity, it could become something no alien species could ever anticipate. As the first alien ships appeared on sensors, Jonas took a deep breath. He was just a mechanic, a human, a single person. But here, in this derelict giant, he had the tools to change the balance of power in the galaxy. "All right," he whispered. "Let's show them what humans can do." It was awake, and with Jonas, it was ready. The void of space would never be the same again. The stars outside the colossal ship no longer looked peaceful. Red warning lights flashed across the bridge. Long-range sensors displayed multiple signals approaching fast. Warships. Dozens of them. Different shapes, different sizes, different species. They had all come for the same reason. The dead giant was no longer dead. Jonas stood at the center of the massive command bridge, staring at the holographic display. His hands moved quickly across the controls, adjusting power levels, rerouting shields, checking weapon charge cycles. "How many?" he asked calmly. The ship answered, its voice now strong and clear. 27 vessels, mixed classes, 2 heavy cruisers, 5 destroyers, remaining light attack ships. Jonas gave a low whistle. That's not a welcome party. The alien fleet formed a loose circle, slowly surrounding the colossal ship. They kept their distance. They were cautious, smart. They're afraid, Jonas said. Yes, the ship replied. They detect my power levels rising. Jonas leaned back slightly, thinking. Most alien commanders fought by rules, formations, strategies, predictable patterns. Listen, Jonas said, speaking to the ship like a partner. We don't fight them head on. Not yet. Let them think we're still weak. The ship paused. You suggest deception, Jonas grinned. Exactly. He reduced visible power output. The colossal ship dimmed. Shields lowered slightly. Weapon arrays appeared inactive. The alien fleet reacted instantly. They advance, the ship reported. Of course they do, Jonas muttered. A transmission signal flashed on the console. An alien commander appeared on the holographic screen, tall, armored, with glowing eyes and sharp features. Unknown operator, the alien said coldly. You are in control of restricted military property. Power down and surrender immediately. Jonas scratched his chin. Restricted military property? Funny. I found it floating in space. You are a human, the alien observed, disgust clear in his tone. You cannot operate that vessel. It is beyond your kind. Jonas smiled slowly. Yeah, he said. That's what everyone keeps saying. Without warning, the alien fleet opened fire. Bright beams of plasma streaked across space and slammed into the colossal ship. The bridge shook violently. Explosions rippled across the hull. Shields holding at 70%. The ship reported calmly. Jonas's eyes sharpened. Now. Not slowly, not like a drifting relic. It twisted in space with shocking speed for something so massive. Engines roared to full power. The sudden movement caught the alien fleet off guard. Targeting systems recalibrated, the ship said. Pick the destroyer on the left, Jonas ordered. Hit its engines only. Energy built rapidly, humming through the hull like thunder. The alien ships tried to reposition, but they were too slow. The colossal ship fired. A single beam of concentrated energy tore through space. It sliced clean through the destroyer's engines. The alien ship spun out of control, systems dead. Jonas exhaled slowly. One down. Shock spread across the enemy fleet. Their formation broke slightly. They did not predict that maneuver, the ship observed. That's because they think in lines, Jonas said. Humans think in chaos. This time heavier weapons. Missiles streaked forward, locking onto the colossal ship. Intercept them, Jonas ordered. Instead of using standard defense lasers, Jonas activated something new. A modification he had installed himself. Release micro-drones, he said. Small, fast drones launched from hidden ports along the hull. They shot toward the incoming missiles and detonated them mid-flight. The alien fleet hesitated. That system is not part of my original design, the ship said. Jonas smirked. Nope. That's human creativity. The 2 heavy cruisers moved forward now, charging their main cannons. These were serious threats. If they fire together, shield integrity will fall below safe limits, the ship warned. Jonas's mind raced. He saw the battlefield differently than alien commanders would, not as clean lines and targets, but as moving pieces. Fear, ego, timing. Pretend to retreat, he ordered. The colossal ship turned, engines flaring as if attempting escape. The alien cruisers advanced aggressively. They pursue, the ship said. Good, Jonas whispered. At the last second, Jonas rerouted all power from forward shields to rear shields. Now flip us. The colossal ship performed a maneuver no one expected. It rotated 180 degrees while still accelerating. In a single smooth motion, it faced the pursuing cruisers at close range. Fire both spinal cannons. Twin beams of devastating energy erupted from the ship. They hit one cruiser directly in its weapons core. The explosion lit up space like a small star. The second cruiser tried to dodge, but the beam clipped its hull, tearing through armor and crippling its main systems. Silence followed. Half the enemy fleet was now damaged or destroyed. The remaining ships backed away, panic spreading through their ranks. Enemy morale decreasing, the ship observed. Jonas let out a breath he didn't realize he was holding. Open channel, he said. The alien commander reappeared, this time visibly shaken. This is impossible, the alien said. That ship cannot move like that. It can now. You are one human, the commander snapped. You cannot control such power. Maybe that's your mistake. You keep thinking I'm alone. The alien commander frowned. Jonas placed his hand on the console. We're not just pilot and ship, he said quietly. We're partners. I choose this human. A sentient warship choosing a human operator was unheard of. Jonas could feel the ship's systems responding faster now, predicting his commands before he fully gave them, adjusting weapon angles mid-thought.
Adapting. You are learning,
Jonas whispered. Yes, the ship replied. From you. The remaining alien ships regrouped for one final assault, all weapons charged. They will attempt overwhelming force, the ship warned. Jonas nodded slowly, time to show them something new. He opened a hidden control panel near the command throne, a risky modification. One he had not tested fully. A hybrid energy compression system. If this works, he muttered, it'll scare them for good. Energy levels unstable. Trust me, Jonas replied. The ship hesitated only a second. Trusting. Jonas rerouted power from secondary systems. The core began to glow intensely. Space around the ship distorted slightly, bending under pressure. The alien fleet fired everything. Plasma, missiles, rail cannons activated the system. Instead of absorbing the impact normally, the colossal ship's shields compressed the incoming energy into a single focused point. Release, Jonas ordered. A massive pulse exploded outward, not a beam, not a blast. The shockwave ripped through space, disabling enemy weapons, frying targeting systems, and knocking ships off course without destroying them. When the light faded, the alien fleet floated powerless, silent, defeated. Jonas slumped slightly in his seat. Status? He asked. Enemy ships disabled. No further attack patterns detected, the ship replied. Jonas looked out at the broken fleet. We didn't kill them all, he said softly. You chose restraint, the ship noted. Yeah, Jonas replied. We're not monsters. The alien commander sent one final message. We will withdraw, he said quietly. The galaxy will hear of this. Jonas smiled faintly. Good, he said. Them. The enemy fleet retreated slowly, dragging damaged ships with them. Silence returned to space. The colossal ship hummed, almost content. You have changed my purpose, it said. Jonas leaned back, exhausted but satisfied. No, he replied. We changed it. The ship paused. We are feared now. Good, he said, because this was just the beginning. Far across the galaxy, news of the battle spread like wildfire. A dead warship had returned, controlled by a single human mechanic, and it had defeated an entire fleet. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy felt something new. Fear of humans. The colossal ship floated quietly, no longer a drifting corpse. And it was learning. With a human at its side, it was becoming something far more dangerous than any ancient war machine. It was becoming unpredictable, and in war, unpredictability was the deadliest weapon of all. The galaxy had heard the stories. A colossal warship, long thought dead, had returned. And it had a human at its helm. Every fleet, every coalition, every mercenary force, all of them wanted to test the legend. Some wanted to destroy the ship. Some wanted to control it. But none could predict its moves. None could match its intelligence. Jonas Kade sat in the colossal ship's command bridge, fingers drumming across the console. Outside, the void of space was alive with signals. Hundreds of ships, all converging on the same point. He counted at least 12 factions represented, all warships, all armed to annihilate anything in their path. The colossal ship hummed beneath him, engines vibrating softly like a heartbeat. Its voice, now fully coherent, resonated deep in the corridors. "They are many," it said. "I detect more than 400 vessels. Probability of survival? Low." Jonas leaned back, smirking. Low doesn't mean zero. Humans always find a way. The ship seemed to pulse with approval. "You think differently than all others, I understand you, human." Jonas gave the command. "Good. Let's make them remember what humans can do." End. The first wave. The enemy fleets advanced in formation, confident that numbers alone would overwhelm them. Massive cruisers flanked smaller frigates. Missiles streaked forward. Energy beams cut through space like molten rivers. Jonas tapped a holographic panel. Activate adaptive shields and microdrones. Engage full power to rear engines. The colossal ship shuddered as shields flared, turning incoming fire into harmless arcs of energy. Tiny drones shot out, intercepting missiles mid-flight. The enemy fleet hesitated. Their attacks were precise, but Jonas had already predicted their patterns. "Humans think outside the rules," Jonas muttered. "They'll never know what hit them." The first wave of enemy ships closed in, attempting coordinated attacks. But Jonas used the ship's AI like a chessboard. The ship twisted, rotated, and accelerated unpredictably, dodging attacks while keeping weapons trained on the most dangerous targets. A heavy cruiser launched a barrage of plasma bolts. Jonas's hands flew over the controls, rerouting energy, timing shields, and activating weapons. The colossal ship unleashed twin energy beams, tearing through the cruiser's hull. The smaller ships panicked. Their formation broke. Jonas grinned. "Chaos works every time." The colossal ship's voice softened. "You are unlike any commander I have known." "Human, I'm not a commander," Jonas said. "I'm a problem solver." The middle battle hours passed, though Jonas didn't notice. The colossal ship and its human pilot moved like a single entity. The AI adapted faster than any alien fleet could respond. Weapons fired, shields redirected, engines twisted, every movement calculated but unpredictable. One alien faction tried to trap the ship in a gravity well. Massive warships formed a semicircle, cutting off escape routes. "Trap them," Jonas said. "They'll think they have the advantage." Its voice was calm. "Yes. They believe predictability will win, but you are unpredictable." Jonas's mind raced. He initiated an improvisation he had been developing. Hybrid energy pulses combined with microdrones. The ship emitted a pulse that disabled targeting systems on a dozen enemy vessels simultaneously. They drifted helpless, unable to fire. "Humans improvise under pressure," Jonas muttered. "They never see it coming." He targeted the trapped ships, firing with precision. 2 cruisers were disabled instantly. Frigates collided as pilots struggled to avoid each other. The chaos spread like wildfire. The ship's voice resonated with excitement. "We are becoming unstoppable, human." Jonas smiled faintly. "We're just getting started." The climax. The largest faction, a coalition fleet led by the Emperor-class warship Vorath, now appeared on the edge of the battlefield. Its presence alone dwarfed anything Jonas had faced. Thousands of crew, advanced weapons, tactical genius. "They want to end this now," Jonas said, scanning the massive vessel. "And they think numbers will do it." "Numbers are meaningless. With you, human, we are unpredictable." Jonas leaned forward, hands flying across controls. He had one final plan, something no alien fleet could anticipate. A full-core energy amplification combined with the ship's adaptive AI. If it worked, it would be devastating. The enemy fleet began their final assault. Lasers, plasma, missiles, gravity bombs. The colossal ship absorbed it all, rerouting power and using microdrones to neutralize the most dangerous attacks. Jonas initiated the amplification. Energy built inside the ship's core, glowing brighter and hotter than the fusion reactor had ever managed. The AI's voice resonated in Jonas's mind. Warning, unstable, exceeding safety protocols. Jonas ignored it. I trust you, he said. I trust us. Weapons glowed. Shields flared. Engines powered up. In one instant, Jonas gave the order. Full release. A massive wave of energy erupted from the ship. Not just destructive, but strategic. The pulse disabled enemy engines, scrambled targeting systems, and destroyed key sections of capital ships. Entire fleets were crippled without unnecessary destruction. Silence followed. Then, one by one, enemy ships fled or drifted in space, powerless. The galaxy had never seen such a display. Jonas exhaled, exhausted. We did it. Yes, human, we are alive and feared, the ship said. Jonas looked at the stars. Feared, yes. But respected too. That's the human way. Aftermath. The galaxy now knew humans could do the impossible. A single human had repaired, upgraded, and mastered a colossal warship abandoned for centuries. Together, Jonas and the ship had defeated fleets that dwarfed entire planetary defenses. News spread quickly. Some species panicked, others admired. Human ingenuity became legend. Jonas walked the corridors of the colossal ship, now fully alive and fully operational. The AI spoke constantly, sharing memories of old battles, strategies, and even humor. They were partners. Equals, in a sense no alien had ever imagined. You made me alive. Human, I follow only you. And I'll follow you too. But we do this smart, careful. We don't destroy everything, just those who threaten the galaxy. The ship hummed contentedly. Its massive engines flared softly, moving as if proud. For Jonas, this was more than a machine. It was proof that humans, underestimated and often dismissed, could rise above any challenge. That human ingenuity, creativity, and courage could turn the dead into living legends, and the galaxy would never forget it. The colossal ship floated silently now, waiting for the next threat. Jonas at its helm, the human mechanic who had awakened it, the galaxy's new wild card. Somewhere in the void, unknown worlds would tremble, and some would hope to see the human and the giant together. But one thing was certain. No one would ever underestimate humans again. Jonas leaned back in the command chair, staring out at the stars. The colossal ship vibrated gently beneath him, like a giant breathing beside its creator. Ready for the next challenge? He asked. The ship's voice was calm, yet full of promise. Always human together, and together they would become the galaxy's deadliest legend.